Hello, everybody. My name is Josh Schmidt, and I'm one of the certified strength and conditioning coaches as well as a certified athletic trainer here at Yavapai College. I teach a bunch of exercise science, anatomy, and physiology, and some different things. I'm working with the two coaches at Yavapai Softball for your guys' summer 2013 workout program. So I'm going to take you through a few things, show you some videos of proper format and why we're doing them so that you guys have a great workout for the summer. So let's go through some of these. The picture on the upper right is the last time we won nationals, which was a couple of years ago, and then celebrated. So this is why we're doing all that. So again, the goal of this summer program is to build our base so that when the fall off season comes in August and you guys come back to school, or for those freshmen that are coming in, you have a really good base of strength, and so that when you guys start to increase and start lifting and starting your practices and all those kinds of things, it'll really help to minimize injury and intensity as you guys progress in your lifting and your practice schedules. In the past, we've had some teams come in out of shape, not just in softball, all of them, and you start getting things like tendonitis and all kinds of different issues. So the point of this whole program is to build a really good base over the summer so that when fall hits, you guys have a really, really good platform to build on and we don't break the body down. Okay, so cardio workout. There's a couple things we need to do in order to really obtain a good cardio workout. And we're going to use this equation called the Carbonian formula. So you're going to get a little exercise phase here just for a minute. So in order to really gain fibers and tissue inside the heart, we need to work out for a minimum of 3 times a week, ideally more towards 5 times a week. If we don't do that, the heart really won't gain anything, and we're just going to be in a maintenance mode. So at 3 times a week, we're going to gain a little bit. At 5 times a week, we're going to obviously gain a little more. And furthering that kind of regime, we need to work out at a certain parameter, and we use this formula to figure out our parameter. And the way it works is we take 220 minus our age. 220 is our maximum heart rate at birth, and every year of life we lose a heartbeat basically. And then we're going to subtract our resting heart rate from that, and it's going to give us a number. And then we're going to multiply that by 65%, and then later again by 85%, and it's going to give us our parameters or our target heart rate. And if you look at the example down here, this is for me. You take 220 minus 32 because I'm 32 years old. My resting heart rate is about 65, and then I'm going to times it by 65%. And actually, I would add my resting heart rate back in here. Whoops, excuse me. I'd add my resting heart rate back in here, and that would give me 145. And again, I did it over here. 220 minus 32 minus 65 times 0.8 plus my resting heart rate of 65 back in, and it's going to give me 165. So my parameters are going to be 145 beats per minute and 165 beats. As long as I'm working out 3 times a week, and my heart rate when I'm working out for 20 minutes, a minimum of 20 minutes, I'm between 145 beats per minute and 165, I'm always going to gain cardiovascular fitness. There's a lot of ways that we can do that. We can jog, swim, bike. We can do what's called like a fartlek. I know that sounds funny, but a fartlek workout where we do a sprint jog. So you do a couple of miles and you jog a lap and then sprint a lap, or sprint a lap then walk a little bit, sprint, walk. As long as our heart rate during that 20-minute workout always stays between 145 and 165 beats per minute, we're always going to be getting cardiovascular fitness. So there's a lot of ways to do that. You can do circuit training. It doesn't really matter. The coaches really want you guys to get three bouts of cardio exercise a week for 20 to 30 minutes, and you need to be between that 145 and 165 beats per minute. And the best way to do that, to find out your heart rate, if you really want to do a good job, I suggest going out and buying like a heart rate monitor. You can go to Walmart or Target or sometimes even Costco. For about $30, you can get a nice heart rate monitor. It's a strap that you wear with a watch, and it sends a signal, and it'll tell you what your heart rate is. Or you can just take it like at your neck with your index or your pointer finger and your middle finger, and just take it for 60 seconds. What I usually do is I'll take it at the end of my run as soon as I stop, and make sure that I was in that parameter kind of when I was ending. And I like to try to be at my upper limit at the end of my run at the 165 rather than the 145. So core and strength, it's really important to have a strong core for hitting and throwing. We're going to do some examples of that here in a minute. I'll show you some videos of like some planks and core, as well as some hip strength. So again, we want you guys to do this at least 3 times a week, whether it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, it really doesn't matter. Shoulder workout, the shoulder program needed to be done at least 3 times a week. Following this presentation, you'll see a bunch of demonstrations of these exercises: internal rotation, external empty can, PNF, D1, D2 patterns, some scapular stabilization, and etc. And then coach will attach a throwing program to this email when you guys get it. of how often and what he wants you to do, or he wants you to do throwing wise. So I'm going to take you through some videos now, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you have any questions, contact Coach or myself. Thanks. So the first position you see here is a plank position. Nice flat back, head up in a nice neutral position on her elbows and her toes. And you're going to hold this, sucking your belly button into your spine, holding your abs nice and tight. And you're going to do this to fatigue, and you should be able to do at least a minute, working up towards 2 minutes in length throughout the summer. Okay, what you see here is a pelvic tilt. I'm sliding my hand into the smaller back. She's smashing her hand down, tilting her pelvis forward, keeping that neutral, sucking the belly button into the spine. Okay, so tighten your abs, and then bring this leg and this arm up, and twist, and then down slow, and this arm, this leg. Okay, now do a little, everything nice and flat, and you're going to extend this arm out and this leg out at the same time. Slow and balance and control. Try not to rotate your hips. There you go, and then slow down with these ones. There you go, and then this arm and this leg. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
That'll really work on that, yeah.
Oh, that's really bad.
Okay, flatten your back a little bit. There you go. Perfect. Now try it one more time. Perfect. That's much better. One time. Okay, good. Okay, this one's a crunch. Tighten the abs, and you're coming straight up to the roof, not binding the neck. And you're going to do these to fatigue. Again, straight up, not curling like you would traditionally do with a sit-up. Okay, this is a side plank, nice and flat, nice and in line, keeping the core nice and tight, belly sucked in. This is just an advanced plank, starting position, dipping that hip down, nice and neutral, big thing, keeping your belly and abs all nice and tight and sucked in. Okay, these are glute medius. You're going to have her bend her bottom knee there. She's going to keep her leg and her hip forward. You got to keep it rolled forward. You're going to bring the leg up and back at like a 45-degree angle. The big key here is keeping the left hip that you can see my hand on nice and forward so that it comes back nice and smooth, and we should feel a burn in the left hip pocket. Okay, here's just a squat with body weight, hands out in front, head up, back is nice and flat, abs are tight. Ideally, we want to take our legs down to parallel with the floor, but if you don't have the range of motion, it's okay. Just go to what you can. Okay, this is internal rotation for the shoulder. Elbows bent to a 90-degree angle. You're just rotating in. You're going to use about a 3-pound weight and go to fatigue. This is external rotation, same thing. Arms at the side, elbows bent to a 90. As you're rotating out, pinch the shoulder blades together. This is an empty can. Thumb is going to be down with about a 3-pound weight, and you're going to be at a 45-degree angle. So not straight out in front, not straight to the side, and only come up parallel to the ground. Don't go any higher than parallel to the ground so you don't hurt your shoulder. This is a bent row, so back nice and flat, kneeling over, and you're just pulling the weight up. Now, a 3-pound weight is probably enough. You can do up, as much weight as you can. You want to be able to fatigue somewhere between 8 and 12 reps in that range. This is a push-up plus, or a push to the sky. So what you're going to do is you're going to thrust your arm forward and let it slowly come down. Again, a little heavier weight is probably a good idea instead of a 3-pound weight. Okay, these are the PNF patterns. You're going to see that she's going to bring the arm down and across, up and out, and then she'll switch directions here in a minute. So it's kind of like drawing a sword and putting your sword away if you're, an old knight rider, I guess. And then you can see here, you're going to go up and across, down, and slap the wall. And you can see she's squeezing her hand and going from there. Okay, last but not least, for throwing program, coach wants all players to throw about 3 times a week for 15 minutes just to keep your arm strength up. In addition, on your throwing days, you should be taking about 75 swings or cuts as it relates to hitting. So if you guys have any other questions, give me a ring or give Coach a ring. And other than that, have a great summer and see you guys all in August. Okay, last but not least, for throwing program, coach wants all players to throw about 3 times a week for 15 minutes just to keep your arm strength up. In addition, on your throwing days, you should be taking about 75 swings or cuts as it relates to hitting. So if you guys have any other questions, give me a ring or give Coach a ring. And other than that, have a great summer and see you guys all in August.